Well, hello there, guys. Welcome back to some more of the Operational Art of War 4. Those of you guys that loved this series before, you're probably happy that we brought it back. We got all the way up to episode 14, and this is a notoriously long series. So for those of you that have not seen the first few episodes, I definitely recommend you do, because so much has been done in this Let's Play. So guys, what are we going to do now? We're going to continue to try and push the Viet Minh away from Quang Nhân and all of these locations. We've managed to do so much in terms of keeping them back so far. We've just got to keep it up. We've also got some of them over here, for instance, that are out on a sort of small peninsula that should be fairly easy to destroy, but we know how tough these guys can be. So let's plan our attack. We've got some incredible units here. These guys have made it through so much, especially the CFO GM. And I believe this is the Continental Expeditionary Force unit, but it is an armored car unit. And we're absolutely going to bring in some actual air support from the Limousin and Saint-Ouen groups. So a bunch of French groups here that are going to bring us some much-needed support. And I'm also going to try to wipe out these Viet Minh units. As you can see, our units are also low on supply. The only good news about that is so is the enemy. The enemy's pretty low on supply, at least here near our bases. And we want to try to, use that to our advantage. Oh, nice! It looks like near Luc Nam, the enemy was pretty weak. We managed to push them back fairly easily. We don't want to move out too much, though, guys. Remember, we want to defend the city. We don't necessarily want to go out looking for the enemy. At least not just yet. Eventually, that's absolutely a plan. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be pretty damn effective. They've also got some guerrilla units here. The beginnings of the Viet Cong. And they've also got some engineer units, of all things, over here. So I'm wondering if we should engage them. Again, moving out as much as I am is not actually something I would recommend. So I'm going to see if I can't go ahead and dig in with the entire group. Move this guy here and dig in with the entire group. I'm hoping, obviously, that they're not going to jump out from the mountains here and head south, but I think we're safe. I think so. And over here, the same issue, guys. They've got a lot of artillery here. We want to erase it from the map. So we're sending in just about everybody. And you can see a lot of our guys are 1-1. For those of you guys that know about the Operational Art of War 4, or the Operational Art of War in general, you know that basically that means our units are very, very weak right now. No other way to paint that picture. We'll group move with our, we actually got some PT boats here, and I'm going to try to destroy the bridges, guys. The reason being, this is where the enemy's getting in. We don't want them crossing in easily anymore. So we're going to take those bridges out, and we're going to begin a massive attack here on the Viet Minh units in this sector. So a lot of men on the line here, but it must be done. And you can see the cooperation there is 0.67. This is because we're also working with South Vietnamese units. Not all of them speak French, etc. So we have an issue in terms of communications at times. Now over here on the coast, when we last left off this Let's Play, people were suggesting that we would try and retake it. The problem is places like Hue, the city of Hue are so important. And we did manage to retake Hue. We want to try and retake Da Nang too, but we don't have enough, I believe, to hold these areas. And defending them means bringing units from the north or the south, either which are going to take a very long time. It's not going to, it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a while to actually get our units up. So I think for now we're just going to hold our position, but maybe something to consider for the future. Let's also go ahead and attack this unit. We're consistently attacking that same NVA unit, and I believe we also took this NVA stronghold over here with our beautiful patrol boats. I love these patrol boats. We've had so much fun with them. But there's still some units in the rice paddies here to the south, guerrilla units that we want to eliminate, so that we don't have any Viet Cong presence, or Viet Minh presence, excuse me, in this sector. So let's send in our PT boats, as well as some armored vehicles, and we'll even give them some air support. Although I don't usually like to give air support in this area, we could see the chances of success for a victory are excellent. We'd be fools not to take those odds while we can. All right, I think that's about it, as far as I can tell. Looking to see if we've forgotten any attacks. Oh, that's right. Yes, we have. And that's going to be this one right here, guys. The guys right on the peninsula. We want to completely wipe them out. It's actually quite a large group of Viet Minh troops, but of course they're stuck in that position. So hopefully our consistent bombardment will destroy them. All right, let's end the turn. course, we're going to win that battle. But that unit just keeps retreating and reforming every time we do that. It's kind of frustrating. Nice, guys. We finally wiped out those Viet Minh on the peninsula. Took as many as we could prisoner, probably killed most of them. What about over here? Did we push them back? This would be a huge bonus. Because for those of you guys that have watched the entire series, you know that the Viet Minh have managed to break in here. Heck, they started this entire battle in control of these areas, or in control of at least the northern parts of these areas. So we have managed to do a lot in terms of pushing them back. But is it enough? That's the ultimate question. Over here, it's not. It looks like they're pushing through, and we don't have much strength in this area. 80% of our turn remains. Let's take a look, guys. Some of these attacks were perfect, like the one on the peninsula. Look at that. That is a major, major victory. Thousands of enemies, for sure. Thousands, without a doubt. So the Viet Minh are going to be feeling that one. What about over here, for instance? Another really nice attack here, mostly bombardment attacks, so we can thank our planes for the enemy losses. But again, this is why I said sending the planes to this area maybe wasn't the greatest idea. You know, we just spent a bombing run to take out a few squads, and I don't think that's necessarily worth it, although we came out of that without a scratch. Over here, we weren't so lucky, and this is where we had all the units with one, not a lot of strength. And as you can see, we lost quite a lot of units, but I think it was pretty even, to be perfectly honest. And for the most part, we held these positions, with the exception being these two. So let's do that. Let's see if we can get another attack going. We might not be able to, guys. Again, in this game, you don't just necessarily get to attack consistently. You've got to make sure that your guys are, you know, prepared for an attack. But I think here, we can attack this mountain infantry still. Our guys still have some fight left in them. A few rounds left in their FN FALs, which I believe would be the battle rifle being used by a lot of the French here. Probably also a lot of M1s as well. Because I'm sure a lot of World War II era weaponry was used by both sides. But I believe the FAL was the weapon mostly used, the official weapon, the battle weapon of the French forces. So we'll try to bring in even more guys here. We're just going to overrun this position, doing the opposite of a Soviet charge. Doing a capitalist charge in this case, not a communist one. Push forward here as well. The only reason I'm deciding to actually push my attack here is because we've got that armored car unit. It's pretty strong, and if it could assist in this attack, then great. I don't think it can, though. At least not right now. Let's see if we can hit the engineer unit. No. No, I think we'll wait. In fact, we might even dig in. So we'll plan an attack here in the south. Again, as you can see, they've got a stack there. So hopefully just the concentric attack. Concentric attack means we're attacking from all sides. Will, you know, sort of mitigate the damage we're going to take from the fact that they have a huge stack of men here. But this would be an amazing victory. Chance of success is excellent. Let's end the turn, folks. Come on, boys. For the freedom of the Vietnamese people to be our subjects. Did they retreat? No, I think they're holding. I think that is just such a large stack that they're not going to pull back. Doesn't seem like it anyway. Now over here, of course, amazing attack once again. What did I tell you guys? Oh, this, I think we looked at that one already. Yes, we did. Sorry, guys. That was the beginning of the turn. Okay, here we go. So, not bad at all. Again, probably in the hundreds, maybe the thousands here. You have to consider a squad. How many are in a squad? How many are in a ferry bridging team? How many are in a machine gun team? We're not sure of these numbers. We could probably look it up on Wikipedia. But look at that. We also lost a few guys, but, you know, we came out all right. We came out with acceptable losses. That's such a terrible term, but it's the truth in this case. Acceptable losses. Now, most of the time when we end our turn here, what happens, guys? Those of you that have stuck around know exactly what happens. The Viet Minh do an incredible attack and manage to get lodged in to one of these areas. So we're going to see if that happens now, because we're actually about to turn it over to the Viet Minh. There's not much else we can do here. Our guys have done their attacks. That's pretty much it. So now it looks like they're getting some replacements, and they're going to unleash holy fury on us. Now we're in April of 51. I believe this began in January of 50. If somebody wants to correct me on that, please do. Here we go. Oh boy, we even got some guerrilla units moving in. Hold, boys. Don't lose the city. We don't have the main city of Wei, which is technically the capital. Well, we do have it, but we just have, like, nobody defending it and a bunch of Viet Minh troops around it. But up here in the north, we've got to try and hold Dosan. I believe that's the name of the city here. It's very important for us not to lose this area. As you can see, though, as we cycle through the enemy units, the ones near the cities are just as badly damaged in terms of morale and health as ours are, but the ones out here, sort of in the countryside and in the hills, are doing just fine, which makes sense. We don't have much control over that area at all. We've got a few South Vietnamese irregular units holding those areas, but without our support, they're not going to be able to hold on at all. So we have to win here, and then somehow we need to come up with an attack and push outwards to retake all those cities to the northwest and the center of Vietnam. It's tough, guys. That's going to be the end, I believe, of the Viet Minh turn. Ooh. Let's see if we get any replacements or reinforcements, because we desperately need them. I hope we've got some volunteers signing up in France. I'm not sure if the war in Indochina was conscription-based or if it was volunteer-based. I'm fairly sure it would be conscription-based, right? But again, I don't know 100%. But we need some volunteers desperately. That's for sure. All right, so we do have some reinforcements, which are better than replacements. Again, big difference. Replacements are just replacing units in existing divisions or squads. In this case, reinforcements are actually new units. So I'm hoping we get a lot of them. And I don't see why, in this case, the French wouldn't drop off units at Hue. It's just right next to the coast. Like, just give us some units and be gone. Also, guys, once again, for those of you guys that have not seen the rest of the series, I will put a link for the playlist down below. This is one of those series we've really kept our eyes on for a long time. So I want to make sure that you guys have the full view of what's going on, essentially, from the very beginning. Force proficiency is 60%. That is bad. You want force proficiency to be up at like 90. So our guys, much like, well, other people that have been in Vietnam, they're losing a lot of, you know, sort of morale. Obviously, this is not a war that they probably believe they should even be involved in. So that force proficiency level is dropping. And we can see that just in the strength of our units and how it's dropped. But keep in mind, we've also taken out entire groups of Viet Minh units. I mean, entire armies almost. So hopefully that is going to push our boys to victory. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you're happy that the series is back, please do hit that like button and leave a comment, because we do want to know how many people are actually invested in this. And we'll see if we continue with the series for a bit longer. I think I'll keep going until episode 20, and then maybe we'll take another break. This is definitely a tough one to do. It's a very, very long one, so I hope you guys appreciate the work that goes into it. Thank you, guys. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next.